So, hello everyone. If you are asking yourself if a career in data analytics is right for you in 2026 or not, then the short answer will be yes. So, by 2026, the world will generate over 175 zettabyte of data. So, it's a global data tsunami, and every industry from healthcare and finance is struggling to keep it up. Okay, this massive explosion of data is your biggest opportunity. The gap between the data available and the people skilled to analyze it is widening and making this a highly strategic, future proof career. Okay, so here are the 5 pillars that make data analytics the ultimate career choice right now. Okay, first, the unprecedented job demand. Okay, so organizations like the World Economic Forum consistently rank data roles among the most resilient and in demand field globally. Okay, that means it's a ultimate job security for you. Okay, secondly, competitive salaries and fast growth. So the extreme scarcity of talent drives up entry level pay and accelerates promotions as companies fiercely compete to retain top analysts. Okay, third, strategic business impact. So you aren't just processing numbers, you are the navigator. So you will transform chaotic data into multi-million dollar insights that drive real business decisions. Okay, so fourth, the ultimate versatility. So your skills are universal. The exact same toolkit that optimizes a retail supply chain can be used to detect fraud in banking or predict patient outcomes in healthcare. Okay, and fifth, so no prior coding knowledge is required. So you don't need to be a hardcore programmer or software engineer to get started. So anyone from any domain in IT or even entirely non-technical background can make the switch to data analytics and learn the core tools quickly. Okay, so if you are ready to pivot into a high impact, high growth career, let's move beyond the why and dive into the how. Let's explore your complete 2026 Data Analyst Roadmap. Okay. So in the first step, we will try to understand what a data analyst does. Okay. So before learning any software, the first thing we should need to understand is what a data analyst actually does. Okay. So think of a data analyst as a detective. Okay. So companies have huge amounts of data every single day, right? But the data alone doesn't help. A data analyst looks at that data, finds useful information, and helps the company to make better business decisions. Okay. So no matter which company you join, your work will mostly revolve around these 4 steps, okay, which I'll explain it now. Okay, so collect the data. So this is where you gather the data from different data sources like Excel files, SQL databases, websites, or business applications. Okay, then clean the data. So real world data is never perfect. It may contain blank values, duplicate records, then spelling mistakes or incorrect data types or any other data discrepancy. Okay, so cleaning means fixing all these problems before doing the analysis. Okay, then what should we do? We should analyze the data. So once your data is clean, you should start finding answers to the business questions. For example, which product sells the most, which city generates the highest revenue, which customers are leaving the company frequently. So then what you will do? So finally you will present your findings using dashboards and charts so that the manager can easily understand the results and make business decisions. Okay. So first step is the raw data. Then you do the cleaning. Then you analyze the data and then you present the data in your dashboards so that the business can take business decisions out of your dashboard. Okay. So as a fresher in 2026, you can generally expect a salary of between 4 to 7 LPA. Okay, depending on your skills and projects and the company you will join. So strong projects and interview preparation can help you land even better opportunities. Okay. So next, coming to step number 2, learn Excel. So now let's start learning your first tool, which is Microsoft Excel. Okay. So many people think Excel is outdated, but that's simply not true. Okay, so even today almost every company uses Excel in some of the way. It's one of the most important skills for any of the data analyst. Okay, so you should start learning with the basic formulas like sum, average, count, mean, max. So these will help you to perform quick calculations. Okay. Then sorting and filtering. So imagine you have 50,000 employee records. So instead of scrolling endlessly, you can sort salaries from highest to lowest or filter only the employees from a particular department. Okay. Then the tables. So Excel tables automatically organize your data, make the formulas easier and expand as new data is added. Okay. Then you can do the conditional formatting. So this helps you to highlight important values automatically. So for example, highlight the sales which are greater than 1 lakh in green, or we can show the losses which are in red. Okay. So pivot tables. So this is one of the most important and powerful Excel features. So with just a few clicks away, you can summarize thousands of rows and answer the business questions instantly. Okay. So these are very important. Okay. Then charts. So charts can convert numbers into visuals. So trends become very easier to understand. Okay. Then you can start understanding the lookup functions. So functions like VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, which helps you to retrieve data from another table. Okay. So they are used almost everywhere in Excel based jobs, and these are very, very important. Okay. Then one of the resource tip I would like to share, that don't just watch tutorials, download real data sets and practice every concept yourself. So that's where the learning really happens. Okay. So coming to step number 3, learn SQL. So once you are comfortable with Excel, it's the time to learn SQL. Okay. So think of SQL as the language you can use to talk to a database. Okay. So every company stores millions and millions of records inside databases. Okay. So SQL helps you to retrieve exactly the information that you need. Okay. So giving examples, show all employees, or find the total sales, or find the customers who has never ordered. So find the highest paid employee. So you can answer all of these questions with the help of SQL language from your databases. Okay. So first, that command which we will learn is select. So this is the first SQL command that you will learn, and it simply retrieves data from a table. Okay. Then where. So it is used to filter only the records that you need. Okay. Then what you can learn is order by. So order by is used to sort your data in ascending or descending order. Okay. Joins. So data is usually stored across multiple tables, right? So joins helps to combine those tables into one result. Okay. Group by. So this command helps to summarize the data. Okay. So for example, total sales for each department or each city. Okay. Then in advanced SQL, you can go for, once you are confident with these basics, we can move to subqueries, cities, views, window functions like row number, rank, dense rank. So these are very common in interviews. Okay. So don't rush, master one concept at a time before moving to the next. So coming to step number 4, build your resume, LinkedIn profile and practice interview questions. Okay. So this is where many beginners make a mistake. They finish every course first and only then they think about their resume or LinkedIn profile. Okay. So don't do that. Build both gradually as you learn. Okay. So for example, learn Excel, add Excel, learn SQL, add SQL, complete a project, add the project. So your resume should grow along with your skills. Okay. So, but learning alone won't get you hired, right? So companies don't ask you to explain theory. They ask you to solve real-time problems. Okay. So examples, learn pivot tables, solve Excel interview questions on pivot tables, or learn SQL joins, solve real-time SQL interview questions on joins. Okay. So I regularly upload real interview questions on this channel. So practice them alongside of your learning and you will build your confidence for actual interviews. Okay. So one last thing before we move to the next step is creating a resume is not just adding your skills and projects. Okay. So it should be ATS friendly also. Okay. So nowadays most companies uses an applicant tracking system to filter the resumes even before a recruiter sees them. Okay. So having the right skills alone isn't enough. So your resume should be properly formatted and optimized in order to get shortlisted. Okay, but don't worry, I'll be making a dedicated video on how to create a professional ATS friendly resume from scratch. So I'll explain everything step by step, including what to include, what to avoid, and how to increase your chances of getting your resume shortlisted for interviews. Okay, so make sure you watch that video as well. So coming to step number 5, learn basic statistics. Okay, so don't worry, you don't need to become a mathematician. As a data analyst, only you need to understand numbers well enough to perform or explain business performances. Okay, so you can start with average, maximum, minimum, percentage, growth, trends. Okay, so these are almost used in every dashboards and business reports. Okay, and later you can learn correlation and standard deviation. Okay, but don't stress about all of this in one day. Focus on the basics first. Okay, so now coming to step number 6, learning Power BI. So now comes the most exciting tool in your data analyst journey, which is learning Power BI. Okay, so Power BI converts boring Excel tables into beautiful interactive dashboards. Okay, so we will understand the flow, how it works. So first we connect the data, then we clean the data, then we model the data, then we build the dashboards, and then finally share the reports or the dashboards to the end users. Okay, so in the first step we connect the data. So in this step we import the data from Excel, SQL or any other sources. Okay, so in the next step we clean the data. Okay, so we remove the duplicates, we fix the errors, and we transform the data in this step. Okay, so in the next step we do the modeling the data. So in this step we build the relationships between the different tables we have in a data model. Okay, then we build dashboards. So create interactive visuals using charts, cards, maps and other tables. Okay, and finally we share the reports. So publish the reports or the dashboards so that teams can access them online. Okay, so later you can learn DAX, you can learn data modeling in deep, and you can learn about Power BI service. Okay, so don't try learning everything in 1 week. Take one topic at a time and practice consistently. Okay, so coming to step number 7, learn basic Python. So Python isn't mandatory for every data analyst job, but it's definitely a valuable skill that can help you stand out from other candidates. Okay, the good news is you don't need to learn everything. Okay, so focus only on the topics that are useful for data analysis. Okay, so learn these topics which I'll mention. First, learn the Python basics. So in Python basics there are variables, data types, loops, functions. Okay, then go to data structures in Python, that is list, tuples, dictionaries. Okay, then the file handling, so read and write Excel and CSV files. Okay, then the NumPy operations, so it consists of basic numerical operations. Okay, then pandas, which is the most important, so it consists of data cleaning, filtering, merging and grouping. Okay, so next data visualizations, which consist of matplotlib and plotly. Okay, so then automation, so automate repetitive tasks like cleaning files and generating reports. Okay, so don't jump into machine learning or AI in the beginning. Master Python for data analysis first. So once you are comfortable with these topics, you can gradually move to the advanced topics. Okay, so coming to step number 8, build real projects. Okay, so now we have reached the most important step of this roadmap. So this is where the companies actually start noticing you. Okay, so many freshers build the same old projects, a sales dashboard or an HR dashboard or a retail dashboard. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with those projects because they really help you learn. Okay, but in 2026, if you really want to stand out from thousands of applicants, then don't just build dashboards, build projects that solve real problems. Okay, so when an interviewer sees that you have analyzed an actual business or social problem and provided meaningful insights, it immediately creates a strong impression. Okay, it shows that you just know Power BI or SQL, you know how to use data and to solve real world challenges. Okay, so example of real time projects. Number one, traffic accident analysis. So you can analyze accident data to identify accident hotspots, the most dangerous roads, peak accident hours, and the major cause of the accidents. Okay, then you can suggest the ways to improve road safety. Okay, then coming to number two, hospital waiting time analysis. Okay, so analyze the patient data to find why waiting times are increasing. Okay, so identify which departments are overloaded and suggest ways to reduce patient waiting time. Okay, so coming to example number three, grocery price analysis. So compare grocery prices across different cities or online platforms, which will help the consumers identify where they can save the money. Okay, another example I would like to give is rainfall and flood analysis. Okay, so you can analyze the rainfall data from different regions and you can find the areas that are more prone to flooding and identify the seasonal patterns. Okay, then another project that you can do is job market analysis. So this is one of my favorite project ideas. So scrape or collect job postings from platforms like LinkedIn or Naukri and you can analyze which skills are the most in demand, which cities have the highest number of openings, what are the average salary ranges, and which tool appears most frequently in job descriptions. Okay, so this is a highly relevant project because it's directly relates to the today's job market. Okay, so another project that you can include is real estate price analysis. Okay, so analyze housing prices across different locations, find which of the factors affect the property prices and identify the best investment areas. Okay, so every project should include data collection, data cleaning, data analysis, then dashboard creation, business insights and recommendations. Okay, so don't stop after creating a dashboard. Ask yourself, what decision can a company make after looking at my dashboard? So if your dashboard answers that question, you have built a valuable dashboard. Where can you get the free data sets, right? So Kaggle is one of the best platforms for the free data sets. So you can use other data sets from government open data models, company reports or public APIs to build the projects based on real world scenarios. Okay, so in 2026, companies don't just hire people who know Power BI. Okay, so they hire people who can solve business problems using data. Okay, so a project that solves a real world problem is far more valuable than 5 dashboards built on random sample datasets. Okay, so when an interviewer sees a project that addresses an actual challenge, it becomes a great conversation during the interview. Okay, so it shows initiative, business thinking and practical experience even if you are a fresher. Okay, so don't build projects just to fill your resume. Build projects that create an impact. Okay, so these are the projects that people remember and those are the projects that can help you land your first data analyst job. Okay, so coming to step number 9, start for applying jobs. So one mistake almost every beginner makes is waiting until they feel fully ready. Okay, so here is the truth. Nobody feels 100% ready. Okay, so start applying once you have learned the basics, completed the projects and practiced real interview questions. Okay, so you can apply through LinkedIn, Naukri, company career pages and by employee referrals. Okay, so every interview, whether you clear it or not, is a learning opportunity. Okay, so after each interview, identify what went well and what didn't. Improve your weak areas and try to move on to the next one. Okay, so that's how professionals grow. Okay, so before I end this video, I want you to remember 3 simple things. Don't chase certificates, chase skills. Okay, so don't spend all of your time watching tutorials. Practice what you learn. Okay, and the most importantly, don't compare your journey with someone else. Okay, so everyone learns at a different pace. Okay, so if you follow this roadmap step by step, build strong projects, practice real interview questions and keep applying consistently, you will give yourself a great chance of landing your first data analyst job. Okay, stay patient, stay consistent and keep learning. Okay, and if this roadmap really helped you, make sure you subscribe, because I'll continue sharing interview questions, real world projects, career guidance, and everything you need to become a successful data analyst. Okay, I'll see you in the next video.